Good evening and welcome to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting for Monday, April 9th, 2018. Christina Jabori is the only member who could not attend this evening. And I say let's call the meeting to order.
Okay.
You all received the March minutes and also the Recreation and Senior Citizen monthly reports. Did anybody have any questions or concerns about either of those documents?
Nope.
I motion to approve the minutes as printed.
I'll second.
Okay. No questions on the recreation or senior reports?
No.
Okay. Old business. Parks and Recreation Master Plan, I did hear back from the DNR, and the content was fine in what we submitted. However, there were a couple things that I didn't submit in the format they would prefer to see them in, and we had to do, we had to also turn in these, I can't think of what it's called, but anyways, it's basically proving to them that previous grants we received from the DNR were still, in fact, being credited to the DNR and used by the city. So I just have to basically go around and take new pictures of those things and resubmit that. There's no deadline on that at that point. The other thing was the resolution wasn't in the exact format that they wanted it in, so Mike, the city clerk, redid that for me. I also had to send in an actual copy of the ad that went in the paper, or the affidavit from the newspaper company that it actually was printed and ran. So I have all those things. I'm just waiting for the weather to get better to go out and take decent pictures. The pictures I had sent them, she said she couldn't really tell, if the signs, because if you notice on like our pavilion, there's a plaque up at the very top that states that it was, through partial monies from the DNR that it was built. And so any project that we've had where they've provided funding for, they want to know that we haven't, sold those projects off or sold the property, or, that they're still being used for recreational purposes. Some of our things that have been taken out just because they wore out, I just have to tell them what is happening to that land right now, and all of ours are still being used for recreational purposes, but I just have to get the pictures and get that all resubmitted, but the content was fine.
Good. Thank you.
If you need any help with those photos or that, I would more than happy to help you out.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Hopefully we'll get a sunny or nicer day and I can get out and try to get a clearer picture. Some of them are hard to take because it's like the windows at Hunter, so I just took a picture of the windows. And then where we used to have tennis courts is where the north baseball field is now. So I just need to take a picture of the baseball field to show that that's where the tennis courts used to be that the DNR had helped fund, but now it's used for baseball. So I have a list of things I have to take some pictures of.
Okay.
Or I actually had pictures of them, they just weren't good enough, so I have to retake pictures. But I will let you know. Thank you
Okay,
for offering to help with that. Any other questions on that? Okay, Oakland County FC, the men's soccer league. If you've looked on Facebook or anything, they've had some presence there. I saw they went around and had their pictures taken with several business owners in Clawson. And so they have their first time on the field this weekend. They have their tryouts on Saturday and Sunday. Well, at least they're supposed to. We'll see what the weather does to that. I'm still working on the agreement. There was some holdup with the schools, but I think we're okay now, and I just have to get that written out. The city attorney we've already discussed it, so it's just a matter now of we were waiting on the schools. And we'll get that all put together and signed by all parties, and we're set to move forward with them. Any questions on that? Okay, youth baseball, softball, we talked about several of the things that they had asked of us, and DPW was able to correct the electrical situation in one of the storage areas so that they actually have a light switch now.
That's nice.
Yeah. And we are cleaning out one of the storage areas that had a lot of miscellaneous stuff in it from different organizations. It's been kind of like trying to find out who owns what in that room. But I think we're pretty close to having all that taken care of. And then softball is going to be storing some of their items in that Bywood
okay.
building.
That was one of their concerns, was storing some of their stuff and.
Right, and they use that Shawm field, so it made sense to have some of their stuff, like the pitching machine and some other items, kind of close to that location.
Okay.
So the plan is this week, this weekend, I think they're going to try to move some of their stuff in there. And we're going to try to keep it organized. And, I mean, soccer has some stuff in there for the stadium field. But I'm just really encouraging everybody, you need to have your name on your things, because it just, over the years, things accumulate in there. And if there's not a name on it, we don't know who it really belongs to, so.
Yeah, I don't know how big that is. Is there any way to put any kind of partitions or anything in there that this is for softball,
I
this is
think
for
they're going to
soccer?
put in shelving units
Okay.
for their stuff.
If they don't lift it up, just say it's ours, it's Parks and Rec.
Some of the stuff I don't think we
Give it
really
a chance.
want.
You're not taking it, we're taking it. It's ours.
Yeah, so we're moving forward with those things. They also had wanted some type of secured storage at the Northfield, and I think we've come to an agreement. It was okay with DPW and with me. They are going to buy a storage shed that they're going to put inside the fenced-in area, just so they have something they can lock, and will be protected from the elements. So that kind of alleviates us at this point having to put some sort of a roof on the storage area. We're still trying to figure out how to get covers on the dugouts. So that's still something we have to work on. And I know that youth softball had set up a meeting with DPW to look at the Grant Field, but it was Wednesday at 1 o'clock when we had horrible, horrible weather, so they canceled that. So I have not seen that that's been rescheduled. But we are working towards getting all those things taken care of and in place as the season nears. Anything else on that? You have any questions? Okay, the use of volunteers, I still don't have any word from the union yet on if there's if they can put together an actual list for us. We did have, oh dear, I'm not going to remember, Keller Williams, the realty company, every year, and I believe it's on May 10th, they do a community project. They've done projects in Royal Oak and Ferndale and some different communities where they bring, it could be 50 to 100 of their agents who come to a site and do projects. They did ask Clawson if we would have a project for them to do. I talked with DPW. DPW did address this with the union on this specific project, and the union was okay with it, but then Keller Williams also had the possibility of doing something in Detroit, and I have not heard, I'm assuming, since I haven't heard,
It's in Detroit.
that it's probably
It's a
in
better
Detroit.
picture,
But
opportunity.
but at least it was encouraging that they thought of us and that we got approval. They were going to be doing a bunch of stuff up at the city park as far as painting bleachers and spreading mulch and, clean up, repairing picnic tables. It was going to be kind of all day, a bunch of different things. So I haven't officially heard that it was a no-go, but I haven't heard, and I thought I was supposed to hear by the end of last week. So I'll follow up on that, and I will let you all know by email if it does come to fruition.
Okay.
Any other questions on that? Okay. Food trucks in the park, as far as I know, council's still discussing that, so I don't think we have any other
Nothing's gone
information on that
forward,
yet.
Okay. I was thinking about, we were talking about where the trucks would park and that, and it was brought up that maybe over on Elmwood, over on the side there. And, the more I thought about that, I don't think you would get a lot of people to go over there to buy food, to carry it all the way into the park. It's not that far, but it's still,
Well, there are
Far
picnic
enough.
tables right across, all down Elmwood in the park.
Yeah, I thought that it was like over by where the football field is.
Well,
To
I mean,
park
they
'em
could
there.
start right at the corner there at Custer, which runs, is what the parking lot is
Right.
in the park. So, I mean,
Yeah, we're really not at that point just yet, are we?
No.
yeah, so I don't know.
There's no decision made, there's no
Yeah.
point, we can't really.
Yeah,
Make any
Yeah.
decision.
make any
I mean, and I
decisions.
did relay, this board's thought that it'd be neat to have once a week or even once a month, just have a food truck rally up there or something. And then I guess we would figure out at that point where they.
Where they would go, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. New business. We have the bike racks and the benches that we want to get placed this spring, again, if the weather ever cooperates with us. Christina could not be here, but she did send me an email with her thoughts on where some of the bike racks should go and the benches. She was thinking that definitely the skate park, something on the pavilion side, probably by the playground area. I mean, by the pavilion, somewhere in that general area where kids would ride their bikes up to be able to go play on the play structures. Probably a bike rack over by the baseball fields, possibly, somewhere in the sport area. And then certainly one at Grant, and she suggested Hunter and Parkland. Hunter does have a bike rack right now, not a cool-looking one, but we have a bike rack. So those were some of her suggestions. And then as far as the benches, she thought definitely in the sports play areas, where people might be, not have picnic tables, and there wouldn't be something else for them to sit on. So probably sports areas, you've really got the bleachers, but I think over in the play areas, and maybe just somewhere randomly, kind of,
Throughout the park.
yeah, throughout the park, like I don't know if it was you, Jim, somebody mentioned like by the sand volleyball courts, like if somebody wanted to sit and watch them play volleyball. So that's what she emailed me. I didn't know what you had come up with, if you had thought about it.
I would thought that the volleyball court would be an excellent place.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the path, the walking path.
Somewhere to sit and rest if you
Yeah,
got tired.
For people that, can't do the whole track at one
Especially
at
up
one
by
time.
Washington, there's
Yeah.
really nothing up that way.
Yeah. I
Okay.
thought that in that area. And then, as I said, at the maybe over by the place structures.
Yeah, the one at the main park, it needs one there.
The great big play structure, yeah, there's one
Yeah.
kind of a older bench there, and I
Yeah,
think
it was on
that's
the
about
other-
it.
It was on the
far
other side,
side.
not,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Those were the.
And then I think, Michael, we had talked about the one at Grant Park, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's no benches
There's no
there.
benches at all, so any bench at all facing the swings or the play structure.
Play structure, yeah.
And then if you wanted to, you could put the bike rack down where the circle path is, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
They just enter, so they can park and then move on. And then for Parkland, maybe put the bike rack near the water fountain, just as you come in from Parkland itself. Maybe that'd be a good place to put it, so they can go and play and do whatever else they need.
Okay. All right, we'll try, hopefully the next time we meet, I will tell you that they are all placed.
Perfect.
And maybe you've been out there already using them, I don't know. But we'll hope to get those in soon.
Definitely use the one at the track. I usually don't make it all the way around.
There are some benches there.
I must have walked right by it.
Okay, did that pretty much cover the locations for you
Yep.
guys, or did you
Yes.
have, do you
that's
have any
fine.
others? No, I guess that covered it, Parkland, Grant, okay, good. Summer beautification. Okay, this is always a trick for us. We did it after 4th of July one year and everything looked like it had died and shriveled up. Last year, we did it early and like nothing had bloomed yet.
No.
So-
No.
This year might be quite the same.
Yeah,
It's
I
still-
don't know. Looking at the calendar, I mean, if we do it, the only 3 Mondays I could see as possibles are June 25th, which puts us right around the time we did it last year, which we felt might have been too early. July 2nd or July 9th. Now, July 9th would be our normal meeting, second Monday of the month, and that's, in the past, we felt it's been a little late, but I guess every
Toss
year
of a
it's,
coin.
yeah. So what are your thoughts on that for the summer
July
beautification?
9th.
I'd do the July one, I think.
Yeah.
Just do the normal
Start going
July
to
one,
meetings.
because there's no point doing the second, because most people will be out or not here, and
For
it's going to
4th
be
of July
difficult to
week.
get people there. So we
Okay.
did the 9th, just a normal,
The normal?
normal
I would
meeting, yeah.
suggest the 9th, yeah.
All right, the 9th it is. So all of you who are getting your homes and gardens ready, the Summer Beautification Award judging will be on Monday, July the 9th. So that gives you lots of time to get your front yards extra beautiful, and just call the address into the Parks and Rec office at 248-589-0334. And it'll go on the list for us all to take a nice look at on the 9th. So that will be what we will do with that. Norm, under new business, do you want to talk about your,
Yeah, well, this is something that we had talked about in past meetings regarding the pavilions. I know that we have the huge one at our main park, that possibility of maybe putting up a couple of smaller pavilions that people might be able to utilize in inclement weather, or to get out of the weather at some of our parks. That it's something that we might want to take a look at and talk to the DPW to get their views on what their views might be as far as putting in these. They come as a kit. It's right in the $1,300 cost, and they're 12 by 14. And with an aluminum roof, so they wouldn't have to be shingled or anything like that. And it's all made out of cedar wood that you don't have to do a whole lot of maintenance to. So just something to consider. I know that we talked about it in the past, and I thought I'd just bring it to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board to see what thoughts we might have.
what did you
One
see
thing,
ironically on their little thing, it says check municipality or
Right, right.
homeowners association.
But if that is something that, we would want to do, the only issue with Costco is now it's there, now it's gone. So,
But there are other companies
There are
that
other
do the
companies,
same
yeah.
similar
Yeah, we haven't
structures.
really even looked at a kit, I don't think, so this is kind of a neat idea.
Just to-
Because we
Right.
weren't thinking of putting up anything huge again.
No, it's a good idea, because it's a lot smaller than the ones we actually have, and then they're small enough that families may want to book out, and then you can put them in Parkland and Grant and lots of other places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was my thoughts.
Yeah, I'll share this with the DPW director and see what their thoughts are on it. And then we'll probably have to kind of take a measurement at some of the parks. I know Parkland, there's plenty of room there, but there's no restroom there. So I would think the ideal place would be Grant Park, where at least there's a restroom and
Right.
water
Right.
available. And we'd have to look at what, the size of this. Like I said, if the tennis courts weren't still there, there'd be plenty of
oh,
room.
and Grant, yeah.
At Grant. I'll have to see how much room is there, but we'll take a look at it. I think it's a neat idea to look into.
I know the big pavilion, they charge to have people use them, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is something that they would consider having a charge for.
I don't think I would, because it's
No.
too small. It would be
Right.
more like just first come, first serve type of
Exactly.
thing.
But it's a nice idea to have them in other places, because usually the city park during the summer is quite busy, and there's lots of other families doing other things. It'd be nice, then you could kind of, they could go to different parks and have that ability to kind of celebrate and sit down.
Right.
This kind of cost too is close to where Lions clubs and things like
Yeah.
that might want to do it.
Take an interest.
Or
in
even
it,
something, that we could fundraise specifically for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
kind of looks like what's, at the
Yeah,
park already.
it's not horrible looking at all.
No.
Although the nighttime view makes me think of a manger. I don't know. In this little picture, I'm sorry you guys can't really see it out there. We could stage holiday events there,
There you
too.
go. Bring
No,
in
thank you for
animals.
bringing that in, though.
You're
Yeah, we'll see
welcome.
what we
Yeah.
can find out about it, if we could possibly do something like that. It'd be a little less expensive than some of the other things that we have to do. Is there any other new business that you guys have? Okay, then we open it up for public comment officially, but there's nobody here, so I think we
I
won't.
move that we adjourn.
There we go.
I
I'll
second.
second it.
All right.